Hello, MCU fans. Today we're going to be discussing some Agatha All Along Easter eggs that I completely missed, but you didn't. That's why I love reading the comments on all the different videos, because you all leave such great theories and ideas, and that's why I read and respond to all of them. So lots to discuss. There will basically be spoilers for every episode, but as long as you're okay with that, then let's dive right in and see what we can find out. Don't forget we have a November contest running all month long. Be a subscriber, leave a comment, and 5 random winners will win a book or a steelbook. Best of luck. And I also need to announce the October winner or winners, because one of the winners has not responded back yet. So we have 2 winners. First is Turtle Princip 5587 for this great comment on my Lilia video, episode 7, and this hilarious comment from Industry Holla on my theory video. I think that means Industry liked my theories. Too funny. All right, so both of you, if you want to go to the About page on my channel, you can reach out either via email or Discord. Also, I do have a membership option with lots of cool perks, so you might check that out in case you're interested. But I also like to shout out in another way people support the channel, and that is super thanks. And so every couple months, since I don't get very many of them, I like to shout them out, and boy, what nice super thanks from both of you. Really, really appreciate it. It really helps me in my goal of doing this full-time one day. All right, so let's look at these cool Easter eggs that I missed. So, first of all, was Agatha on trial due to her relationship with Rio? Remember, her mother basically said, you stole knowledge above your age and station. You practiced the darkest of magic. So you all suggested maybe that dark magic was something she was learning from Rio or doing with Rio. In fact, Tony Cumberbatch made that great point. So thank you, Tony. I do like that idea that maybe that's what got her into so much trouble, her relationship with Rio. Let me know what you think about that in the comments. Also, notice that Rio was very protective regarding the fact that Evanora was pretty much abusive to Agatha. She said, you were born evil when she came back as a spirit, remember? I ought to have killed you the moment you left my body and leave her with me. And that's the only time when Rio actually stood up for Agatha, stood up because of Evanora. So that is a really good point. That means they were probably together because Matt Perk was saying basically the abusive relationship that was there, Rio did not like that and was protective of Agatha whenever it came to her mother. Love that point. That is so cool. And it really explains Rio's behavior there. All right, interesting question. Would Rio have come to collect Nicky if she, Rio, was the father? Remember, Agatha said, I spoke no spell, I said no incantation, you were made from scratch. So naturally, a lot of us have asked, well, maybe that means that Rio was the father, because Rio can probably assume either gender, in her appearance. But I love what Busy Brown said, which is, I'm not buying into this theory that Rio would be the second progenitor of Nick and then basically come back and rip Nicky away from Agatha. I mean, in fact, look at how Rio just seems so emotionless when she waves to Nicky. That just seems strange if Rio was the father. And I hadn't thought about that because I was kind of wondering if Rio might be the father. This makes me think no. Let me know your thoughts on that. I do think we're going to get an answer down the road because Jack Schaefer knows, and Marvel knows, how much we care about the Rio and Agatha relationship. But my guess is maybe it's Mephisto, maybe it's something else, but I don't think the father is Rio. Busy has a really, really good point. All right, this is so cool. Nicky's song, basically his version of The Road, which was the original version, is also Agnes's theme. Yeah, hold on to that thought. Okay, so remember, Nicky started with down, down, down the road, down the windy road, wherever it may bend, I'll be there at the end. So Nicky came up with that. Well, remember in episode 1, when Agatha was under the detective spell, or Agnes, I should say, she was humming The Witch's Road. But more importantly, the theme song they play, look what it is. Down, down, down the road, down the winding road, wherever it may bend, I'll see you at the end. Oh, man. That sends chills, man. That sends chills. Thank you, 80s model, for catching that. I love it. So basically, the fake intro was actually the real version of the song, the original version. That is so cool. All right, so Agatha's coven had all the things she needed to have been able to save Nicky. So think about this for a second. She says to Nicky, I cannot heal you, I cannot protect you from what's coming, and I cannot divine when she will return. So she can't heal, protect, or divine. Well, the coven, later in the episodes, obviously, look who's in it. Alice, who can protect, Jen, who can heal, and Lilia who can divine. So basically, Agatha went out and got a coven that had all the things she couldn't do. And that, the way that she was unable to save Nicky because she didn't have those things. Man, everything just ties together so well in this show. So awesome job, ADAR P5R, for catching that. Love it. All right, so did Rio take Nicky away when he stopped killing witches? A ton of you suggested this. I mean, probably 15 or 20 of you at least. So the theory you laid out was Agatha started killing witches when he was a little baby because she's saying, oh, you like that? Referring to the witches she just killed. I think we're going to be very good at this. And then she continued to kill witches, presumably to give bodies to Rio, until finally one night, Nicky said, we can kill more witches tomorrow, Mommy, and wants to go to sleep and go to bed. And that's the same night Rio came to take him. So the theory a lot of you threw out is, oh, I'm betting that Rio said, fine, you're not going to keep killing witches. I'm taking your son. I am really torn on that. Now, again, probably 15, 20 of you suggested that. So it is a very popular theory. I guess, to me, I just feel like Nicky, it was his time. He was sick, and he was saying, we'll do it tomorrow. I'm too sick tonight. But I have to give you credit for all of you that suggested it. It does make sense that maybe Rio spitefully took Nicky away because he stopped killing witches. Let me know your thought on that. It seems to be a big debate with why Nicky was finally taken away at age 6. All right, this is cool. Nicky steals the bell that Agatha then later uses in her con. Notice this bell that he grabs? Well, that's the same bell that she uses as she starts the Witch's Road songs each time. Isn't that crazy? So a couple of you mentioned this. Reverse Card Thompson and Anna Farna 7742, you guys both pointed this out. I love that point. It's just another way that they tied so much of this stuff together. Okay, so several of you asked me, did Agatha get the Darkhold from Ghost Rider? So you have to be an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. fan to understand that question. But so on the left is Agatha's version of the Darkhold that we saw in Agatha All Along and in WandaVision. And on the right is the version of the Darkhold that was both in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and in Runaways. So people have wondered, did Agatha maybe get it from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.? Well, obviously, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., whether it's canon, is questionable right now. But I'm saying that doesn't even matter. I think it's two different versions of the Darkhold. You can see they look totally different. And that's okay, because we learned in Multiverse of Madness, the original version is on Mount Wundagore, inscribed on the walls, and then these are just copies. So I guess, to me, the answer to people's question that asked about this is, no, it's not the same version. She didn't get it from Ghost Rider. They're just different versions, and it all works out. Let me know your thoughts on that, though, especially if you're an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. fan. What do you think about that idea? Okay, so this is cool. One of you pointed out, Alice not only said the road isn't real, but also was spot on when she said it was a con. So I pointed out in my breakdown video, she said the road isn't real, you groupies don't get it, it's just a stupid song. However, she goes on to say the road is a myth, it's a con, it's a cult. Oh my word, I forgot about how spot on she was. Yup, it is not just fake, it's a con used by Agatha. So thank you, Autumn3499, for catching that. Great, great point. All right, so this is an interesting point some of you made. Agatha's original song, the original version of The Witch's Road, was indeed about a coven too. So when she says, it's like the ballad says, burn and brew with coven 2, she was saying that because originally it was Nicky and her. That's fascinating. I thought she was just making stuff up. But no, she was kind of ticked and probably remembered her original version, not the newer version. So Spee35, I had a great comment. You can pause if you want to read the whole comment there. But yeah, was making a really good point that Agatha was technically right. It was Coven 2. That's the song she came up with, or the Nicky came up with, really. So some of you asked, why did Agatha reveal her secret to Lilia? She says, a little known fact about my ability, I can't steal your magic unless you blast me with it. But then that doesn't make much sense because if her whole plan was to get the witches to blast her, since the road was a fake, why did she tell Lilia? Ain't no way Lilia's going to blast her at this point. Well, I think the answer is the only way that Agatha could convince Lilia to figure out who the coven is, because she knew Lilia had those divination powers, was to make Lilia feel comfortable. Like, hey, I've told you my secret. You're going to be safe. It's all going to be fine. Because it's only after Agatha told Lilia that she was able to divine the coven. And in the end, I just think Agatha really wanted Alice's power. She didn't care if she got Lilia's. She wanted Alice's protection power so that she could be protected from the Salem 7. So let me know your thoughts on that idea. Okay, this is really fun. Rios exit stage left. Some of you pointed out that it was an homage to several things. So I made a point of, hey, when she went through the scenery there, that was just like in Multiverse of Madness. But, really good point, it's also like the end of The Truman Show. I forgot all about that. What a great movie. What a great movie. So thank you, PDX Red, for pointing out how Rio basically was pulling a Truman. Too funny. All right, so I love this. Agatha ended up using the info and the skills that she learned from every member of her coven. Okay, so remember, she ducked, so she didn't get hit by the sink. I pointed that one out, because that's obviously Lilia told her when she calls you a coward, duck. Hit the deck. Also, I pointed out in my video how Agatha tried making the protection spell, the protection circle, which is what she learned from Alice. What I missed, however, is she also used Jen's healing spells under the moonlight with water, remember, to try to heal that Achilles heel. And of course, that's what Jen did to heal Teen. That is so cool. So really, she used all three of them. Autumn 3499, great point about that. I called out the first two, but I missed the last one. Fantastic. Love it. This is also interesting. Someone, and I cannot find the comment to give you credit, so I'm sorry, put something in the comments so we can all give you credit for this. Someone pointed out that a big hint that maybe Agatha was the one that did this to Jen is that Jen was in Boston, Massachusetts, but remember, Agatha was from Salem, Massachusetts. It's during the Salem witch trials, and she still seemed to be hanging out there. So when Jen said that doctor didn't take anything from me, I gave it up, it was a doctor in Boston, right? And that's when Agatha finally clicked to her, oh, I was in Salem, Massachusetts in the 1920s, doing odd spells for folks. Isn't that funny? I just totally missed that connection. They were both in Massachusetts, not too far from each other. Crazy. Okay, so here's another really cool one. Agatha hated Jen because Jen's power healed, whereas Agatha's power killed. So basically, Agatha was a Uno reverse card of Jen's powers. That's why Agatha says, I've always hated you. I wondered why that was. Why did you hate her so much? Well, Animals Are Cute 5762 made that excellent point, that she wishes she had the power to heal. Instead, her power only ends up killing. And then the second part of what Agatha says is really interesting. She says, but I left you alone because what you were doing was important. So what was so important about Jen's work, at least to Agatha? Well, remember, Jen said, I'm an 11th generation root worker and a midwife. Midwife is the key. Boy, oh boy, Agatha sure could have benefited from a midwife. Because remember, she basically lost Nicky. Nicky died. Or she stopped him from dying because she made that horrible offer and deal with Rio that made her have to end up killing witches with Nicky for the next 6 years. So if she had had Jen and her skills, she probably wouldn't have needed to make that deal in the first place. That's why Jen's work was so important. That is so cool. Man, Scott Villett, 4854, great catch, man. Great, great catch. All right, so the final challenge turned out to be about growing something. In my breakdown, I was like, what is the point of this challenge? I don't get it. I mean, we got this hint from Jen who says these are grow lights. But what I didn't really realize is that was the secret to the challenge. So remember, Agatha realized out of death comes life. She took the dandelion seed in her brooch. She put a tear on it and got it wet. She planted it in the ground. And of course, it grew into a new dandelion, showing the evolution of death, life, death again. So she exited the challenge after she grew something. That was the secret. But also, I love this, Matt Wilburn takes it a bit of a step further and says it was all about growth and new life. Jen had to grow inwards by becoming a better person and unbinding her magic. Billy literally created new life when he put Tommy in a new body. And then, of course, Agatha did her own growing, realizing, death can become life again. So, man, so cool. That last challenge was way better than I thought. I thought it was just random stuff. I still enjoyed it, but now I really love it. So thank you, Matt Wilburn, for that catch. So this is interesting. The three women, the maiden, mother, crone, on Agatha's brooch seem to disappear when she becomes a ghost, right? She picks it up, she puts it on, and notice they're gone. It's now just a beautiful stone in the center. That is fascinating. So the three symbols that have, been her life up to this point are gone. Maybe it's because she's become the crone. I'm not sure what the reason is, but I still love Joey Glutsky's catch for finding that. He said, look closely at the brooch, and you'll see that the maiden, mother, and crone have disappeared. Interesting. So let me know your thoughts in the comments of why you think that happened. then I can't believe I missed this. Oh my goodness. I was into the tarot cards so much, right? And I totally missed the moon. And by the way, I cannot find the comment where somebody mentioned this. I looked for like 20 minutes trying to find it. So whoever you are, leave it in the comments. I want to give you credit again. But yeah, the moon card. The moon means illusion, deception. Something is not as it appears to be. Of course he would have that in his room, right? Because the road was an illusion, a deception. And, pretty much not what it appears to be. Oh, my word. Love it. Love every bit of this writing in this show. Okay, a couple of you pointed out what happened to poor Senior Scratchy, the sweet little bunny. The last we see the bunny is when Billy's got it outside and the Salem 7 chases him inside. I'm assuming he set Senior Scratchy down and the Salem 7 left him alone. I don't know. But yeah, Megalo was one of the many people who said, what happened? Where's our boy? Well, I hope he's okay. We need a special presentation about what happened to Senior Scratchy. And then lastly, I love this. I had mentioned in my video how they changed the closing credits from this witch on the left to now having a mother and her child, her son, with the mask up. So I thought that was cool, but I was like, I don't know who they are, though. It must be something significant, right? Well, the suggestion is that the lady on the left is the actress playing Billy's mom, and the boy on the right is a young picture of Joe Locke when he was a kid. I have no idea, but I love that idea. So Eric Hirsch, it's my headcanon. That's what I'm going to go with because I think you're right. I really think you nailed it. Let me know in the comments what you think. But yeah, I think that is Joe Locke and his mom. That is so, so cool. So there you go. Those are some extra Easter eggs. I hope you enjoyed them. I had fun putting this together, reading all your comments. I thank you so much for being part of this journey with me. You all are amazing. So don't forget, November contest, be a subscriber, leave a comment, win a book or a steelbook. And we have that membership option in case you're interested in that. And then I always like to mention the Discord in particular. We have a what if pitch contest, meaning that you just need to write up what you think would be a cool what if episode. And it doesn't even have to be about Marvel. It can be DC, Star Wars, any of the things we cover on this channel. So if you want to join it, you got to join the Discord. I'll leave a pinned comment so you can be part of the Discord. And then here's the basic rules to it. Go out there, submit it, and you have all the way up until the end of December, until the end of the run of What If. And after that, I will do a video on all of the best options. So should be a lot of fun. This is the third time we've done it. It's been a great time every time. Also, if you don't mind, like this video, subscribe if you haven't already. You can check out more content, and we'll all continue to enjoy the ever-growing, the ever-changing Marvel Cinematic Universe.